Hello, all you great, grand, glorious Leos. This is Maxine Taylor, and first of all, I'm going to straighten out this screen. Okay. I have your beautiful forecast for the month of July. Happy birthday in advance. It is truly a beautiful forecast. I know you're going to love it. So let's jump right in. First of all, the planet Jupiter, the greater benefic, the one that brings expansion and abundance beyond compare, unimaginable. It's in your 10th house of career and public image. So a lot of people are retired and they say, well, I don't have a career. Oh, yes, you do. It's the thing that brings you before the public, even now. Maybe it's just going to a club that you belong to, a golf club, for example, a beautiful golf course where you meet your buddies and you play golf. Well, somebody's got to be the leader there. That is your 10th house. Wherever you are now, the show will begin only when you arrive. Okay, that's my point. And if you are involved in a career, this Jupiter in the 10th brings fame, brings wonderful recognition. It brings blessings from God because it is God's law. It is a wonderful time to expand your current career. More importantly, your current public image. Oh, yeah. So let's see what we got here. First of all, the sun is the yellow planet. It is the giver of life. Wherever it is, it brightens things up, and that's where you're living your life. Well, it's in your 12th house of behind the scenes activities, the spirit world. It's preparation. I have noticed, and I'm sure many of you have too, because astrology is the way it is, before your birthday, the month before your birthday, is a preparatory time in the solar chart. It's in your 12th house. It is preparing to emerge into that first house. And the sun rules Leo. And this is why when Leo moves into the first house, which is your personality, your presentation to the world, your appearance, when the sun goes into your sign, it moves into that first house, and you're saying, I have arrived. Let the party start. And you know, there just is no party without you. I've tested this out. So celebrate with all your friends. So we start off the month with the sun in the 12th house, preparing. You want your solitude, you want your privacy. You may not want to be around noisy people. This is a terrific time right now to get off to the beach or the mountains. Just take a little trip. Okay, on the 22nd, the sun moves into your first house, and that's when you say, hey, baby, I'm back. Mercury, the blue planet, is also in that 12th house of behind the scenes activities and preparation. It's the conscious mind. It's in the spirit world. It's hard to function that way, but you're getting terrific ideas. On the 11th, Mercury moves into your first house and you start thinking about yourself and talking about yourself and sharing ideas that you had already gleaned from when Mercury was in the 12th of the spirit plane. It is going to move into your second house of money on the 28th of the month. So on the 28th of July, that is when you start thinking about money. And whatever you think about grows because you're putting your attention on it. Whatever you put your attention on increases. There you go. Now, Venus is the pink planet. And it is love. It is beauty. It is music. It is it's just the good stuff. Jupiter and Venus bring the good stuff. The thing is that Venus is going to go retrograde on the 22nd. When Venus goes retro, it feels just like a Mercury retrograde. And that means things are confused, they're unsettled. You do not start a new project while Venus is retrograde, just as you wouldn't start a new project when Mercury is retrograde. You just don't, because anything you begin during that time either fizzles out completely or has to be redone. Okay? If, however, you are about tying up the loose ends of unfinished projects, that's when you can do it on a retrograde Venus, a retrograde Mercury. That's the time to tie up loose ends, tie it in a bow and present it. And there's often a delay in getting what you want when Mercury or Venus go retrograde, which is why you don't want to start anything during that time. However, if you did start it, and I'm repeating myself because it's very important that you get this, if you began the project prior, excuse me, prior to Venus or Mercury going retrograde, and by prior, I don't mean a day. I'm talking about a couple of weeks, maybe a year. Tie up that loose end, you'll feel so good. Okay. Now, Mars is the red planet, and we know what Mars does. Mars is passion. Mars fights. It wants what it wants now. And see, all these planets in the first house make you a disguised Aries during the duration. And so you want what you want when you want it. Okay, you're going to do what you want, when you want, how you want, because you want. Venus, for example, in the first house, you might want to dye your hair purple. Well, have you done that before? You haven't. If you dye it purple now, it either will look awful or it won't come out quite the way you want. You'll have to redo it when Venus comes out of retrograde. Because Venus is beauty and the first house is your appearance. So you have been able to put yourself first for a while because Mars is not retrograde. And when Mars moves into your second house of money on the 10th, that is when you are bird dogging it. You know, you're focused on it. You're saying, that's what I want. Because Mars is what is number one to you. And so with Mercury thinking about it, because on the 28th, Mercury moves into that second house, and Mars has already been there, I would think that you would get lots of gifts and perhaps financial gifts. I love that. I just love it. Now we have a full moon on the 3rd of July in 11 Capricorn. It's in your 6th house of work and health and service. And on a full moon, things come to a head, which means it's in your 6th house of work, health, and service. Your job can pick up, your health can pick up, your desire to serve is very strong. 2 weeks later, on the new moon, which is 2 days after the dark of the moon. In the dark of the moon, nothing happens. On the new moon, energy starts flowing. And this is on the 17th. It's in 25 Cancer. It's back in your 12th house. Okay. Now, the sun will still be in your 12th house till the 22nd. Mercury has already said, I'm out of here. I'm in the 1st house. But this particular new moon says, stay in your 12th just a little bit longer. Enjoy the spirit plane. Enjoy your solitude. Don't worry. You will not be alone. So there is your gorgeous forecast. Join me again next month when once again we take a look at what's going on in your chart. Till then, may the stars shine brightly on you and yours. Bye for now, and a happy July 4th.